Hey guys, it's Christmas time and I'm going to be reviewing William Joyce's series, The Guardians, starting with Nicholas St. North and the Battle of the Nightmare King, E. Aster Bunnymund and the Warrior Eggs at the Earth's Core, and Toothiana, Queen of the Tooth Fairy Armies. The Guardians series is an imaginative retelling of classical mythological characters. In Book 1, it is a retelling of Santa Claus, who in this is called St. North. And then in Book 2, it is a retelling of the Easter Bunny, and Book 3 is a retelling of the Tooth Fairy. Nicholas St. North is a young, brash man who likes to steal, and he happens to come across this enchanted forest and begins to connect with its inhabitants. North learns of the Nightmare King, Pitch, who wants to engulf the world in total darkness and terror. It's up to North and a team of fellow believers to protect the world and become the classic characters that we all know and love today. And that's kind of the basic premise for all the books in the series, that a new guardian always comes into the picture and teams up with North. And the entirety of the series is basically about battling Pitch the Nightmare King. The thing that I love about this series is kind of how traditional it is. The storytelling aspect of the story just felt very classical and traditional. Not like the Harry Potter storytelling, more like the storytelling in Peter Pan or Alice in Wonderland, for instance. Kind of that traditional storytelling. And I think this is the type of children's story that it's kind of like one of those things that you would want to read to a child at night before they go to bed. Just books that are very short and simple, and they just tell a very cohesive plot. The characters in this series are fantastic. There's not really too much with them, really, in regards to character development. It's all very kind of just gradual and slow development. Nicholas St. North is a freaking awesome protagonist. He's kind of like this swashbuckling Russian guy who likes to steal with his merry band of misfits. He's very heroic. He's not your traditional Santa Claus, basically. There's these two characters that are introduced in Book 1 who are named Catherine and a wizard named Ombric. Catherine is a little girl. It's heavily implied that she might be Mother Goose. She's a very fascinating character. There's not too many women in these books, and she's a very strong female heroine, even as just a little girl. And then Ombric is this wizard who's very ancient and old, and he claims to have come from Atlantis, which kind of sounds like a book unto itself right there. Though I really did enjoy the first book in the series, it was the second book in the series which introduced the Easter Bunny that really kind of got me more involved with the story. I think Book 2 was a little bit quicker in pace. We didn't get all those introductions like we did in Book 1. The best way for me to describe the Easter Bunny in this, and by the way he goes by E. Aster Bunnymund, the best way to describe him is kind of this cross between a hippie and Star Trek's Mr. Spock. You have North, who is very abrasive at times, and North wants to get things done immediately and hunt down Pitch. And then you have Bunnymund, who's very logical and resourceful and wants to do everything step by step. And so obviously there's this great contrast between North and Bunnymund, which is excellent in the series. And while I was reading, I liked to kind of think of Bunnymund and North kind of like the equivalent of Spock and Kirk. And you guys, I swear I'm not making this up. There's even a part in the book Bunnymund does something, and it's even referenced as a mind meld. And then Book 3 in the series introduces the Tooth Fairy named Toothiana, and her whole story is very interesting. You get a very deep, long backstory for her and how she kind of came to be, and it's all very interesting. And she's like this badass, kick-ass woman, and she uses like little swords and stuff. She's kind of very ninja-like. And then weaving through all of the books is the main villain, Pitch, the Nightmare King. He's kind of a villain that you don't really get to know a lot about, and I think that's done on purpose because through each book, little things are revealed about him that add to his story, that make him very interesting. And in some ways, he's kind of much more than a villain that you learn later on. Overall, I really loved these first 3 books. There is a 4th book out yet that I haven't read yet, and a 5th one is also coming out. And apparently, I believe the Sandman is next, and then Jack Frost. So I'm curious to see how they figure into the story. I can't say that I love this series anywhere near as much as Harry Potter. For instance, Harry Potter is just on a whole nother level. But the Guardians books are still very, very cute and sweet, and you get these really unique looks at these classic characters. All of the books also have artwork in them. The artwork in these books are absolutely gorgeous, I think. And one of my big problems with the series as a whole is that I find the first half of the books to be kind of slow, and it kind of takes a while for them to get going. And then by the second half of each book, the action just picks up immensely, and it goes by so fast. And I usually really preferred the endings of each book quite a bit. And yes, I haven't mentioned this yet, The Guardians is the inspiration for the Rise of the Guardians animated cartoon. I will say, if you've seen the animated cartoon, don't go into these books expecting everything to be identical, because they're not. They are very heavily different in some ways. So that's it for my review of the Guardians series. Have you guys read this series? Do you plan on reading it? Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.